Paper targets, which ones to use? Which actual pellet catchers to use? You'd be surprised how many times I get asked this question. Anyway, really quick video coming up, which ones I recommend and the ones that I use. Right there YouTubers, it's Steve here aka Catanoni, and welcome to another video on air gunology. On this video channel we do a whole load of videos on air rifles, air pistols and technology. So if you stumbled on us, hit that subscribe button, check out our other videos and leave some comments down below. Also in the YouTube description down below, expand that out, you'll see everything I'm talking about in there, including our Facebook page, which you can go and have a look at. Come and join us, some really good conversations. But anyway, today it's a fairly quickish video, but I get asked a lot of times, you know, Steve, which targets do you use and which pellet catchers do you use? Usually of quite a lot of the newcomers to the sport, so I thought I'd put this really quick video together. So first off, we're going to do with the actual pellet catchers. Now, number one is that whenever you do use these pellet catchers, always make sure you've got a very good and safe backstop. In other words, make sure that that pellet can't go anywhere else. So obviously check 100, 200 meters beyond where you're shooting. Make sure it's nice and safe. Make sure you follow the local laws of your country, especially in the UK. If you're shooting in your back garden, plinking, then pellets are not allowed to leave. You've got to make sure everything's safe. But once you've got a safe backstop, what you're going to want is somewhere to put your targets. Now, you do have a choice. You can just pin your targets to a metal board or to a wooden board or something like that, but you'll find that what will happen is you'll get pellets all over the place, and then you've got to clean it all up. And trust me, after a while, after a year or so of doing that, you end up with a lot of lead at the bottom of your garden, and it's not a fun job picking it all up. Also, you'll find that when you do hit these up against a solid background, it won't actually leave a very nice hole, and sometimes it's a bit difficult to see what you're going on. So what a lot of people do is use these pellet catchers. Now, this is the pellet catcher example that I use, and this one has had a lot of abuse. Now, I started using the square pellet catchers. I'll leave you some links down below, but trust me, even on sub 12 foot-pounds, when you hit that after about 500 or 600 shots, you will actually punch a hole through the metal, and it's time to buy a new pellet catcher. And this one actually is starting, you can see what I mean here, this one's actually starting to go. And the chances are is because you're going to be hitting roughly the same spot all the time in the metal. Because it's flat, you're just going to punch a hole through it. So I seriously recommend these triangular shaped ones. And again, all the links are down in the video description. And what this basically does is it sort of ricochets the pellets in here, and you're not actually hitting straight into a flat surface. So these last a lot longer. I think I probably put at least 3,000 pellets on this one, but it will eventually start to go. You can see at the back here it's starting to go, where all the pellets have eventually been funneled, and it's just repeatedly being hit. The nice thing I do like about these pellet catchers as well is that it collects the pellets in the back, and then after you finish shooting, you just come along, empty them into a bag as well. Some of them will bounce out, but it also gives you some very, very nice clean holes as well. So again, I'll leave the links for these down below. You can also get them on tripod stands as well. So I've got some of my lighting kit, so I put these on lighting kit tripod stands. But again, you can get them, they're all set up for you, literally, I think they're about £30, which gives you one of these and a tripod to put it on. Really, really handy. So like I said, I do recommend you use these triangular ones and not the flat pellet catchers. Trust me, it will save you a lot of money. Then that really sort of brings us on to targets. What sort of targets should I use? Now, you'll find a lot of the times that when you buy those pellet catchers, they will bundle in a couple of hundred targets. I seriously recommend that you check. The reason is these targets tend to be very flimsy, just printed on paper. And let me show you the problem that happens, is that when you put that target into your pellet catcher, the first pellet will just punch it in like that, or 2 or 3 pellets, and before you realise it, it's pointless. So the targets you want need to be printed on some decent card, and these are the decent cards. So you can see there's a good decent thickness of card, so that then they slide nicely into the pellet catcher. Pellet hits, you get nice clean holes through there. And I use these Jack Pike ones. You can get loads of different variations. Again, I'll leave the links down below of the ones that I actually use, but I find these very good. Nice thick card, and they're fairly cheap as well. I buy them in blocks of 200, I think it is. Check the links anyway, you'll see, but they're really good, really handy targets. I do like them. The other things that a lot of people like to do is have what's called these splatter targets or impact impact targets, and these are really handy if you're shooting out at distance, or you want to do some zeroing, or it's a rifle you're not familiar with. These are really good and excellent. And what these do is that when you shoot them, and I'm sure a lot of you have seen these before on all of the videos, they leave a little splatter. Basically they're black and then they'll leave a yellow mark, and you can see from a distance where you've actually shot and where you've hit. And these are really good. Nice and simple. It's literally you just unpeel one. They've got sticky back on them. You just unpeel it like so, and then you stick it to anything you want. Now what I like to do is I like to stick them. You can get loads of different types. So you can get, for example, these type here, which are just like little zeroing targets. What I like to do is take one of those and then stick them onto one of these Jack Pike targets like so, and just put them in the middle. And you'll see people doing this a lot. Really handy, especially if you're at a range and this is out at distance, so you can see where you're hitting. So you can sort of combine these all up. You also can get some just simple black patches. Now these can be used as zeroing targets as well, or they can be used as patches to repatch these. You can get these in all sorts of shapes and sizes and many different quantities, and obviously they do cost a little bit more, but I use them in combination. So like I said, I use the zeroing ones here with my Jack Pikes as well, and then I put them together, and I find them really useful on there. So those are the two major type of targets that I use. Again, I'll leave all the links down below. There's many different varieties out there. There's many different thicknesses. There's a lot of rip-offs out there. So like I said, this is why I'm going to leave these links, because I know that these guys that I get these off actually do supply them and do work very well. And hopefully that's been useful for you. Like I say, it was a really quick video. I get asked that question probably twice a week through personal PMs and through the YouTube channel, so I thought I'd throw this quick video together, show you what it is. Let me know, what targets do you like, which ones do you use? Leave your comments down below. I'd love to know what experiences you've got there, what fun targets that you use. I might put a video together about spinners and metal targets, because I know a lot of guys like shooting those as well. Check out these other videos that I'm leaving running around as well. Consider being a Patreon, all the usual stuff. All the links are down below in the video description if you want there, and I will see you on the next video.